What is cracking, guys? Samuel607 here, throwing at you a new One Piece video because today is the day. Chapter 1044 has just come out, Warrior of Liberation. So this isn't going to be the same as my normal reviews. I'm not sure if I'm going to have the time to do one of those. I haven't been able to upload any videos at all this week because I've been behind on work, but with this chapter I just had to make sure I said something. So, initial thoughts and feelings, I am hyped. I'm kind of glad it didn't end off on the same type of cliffhanger as last week. This chapter we got our payoff, we didn't switch too far away, Oda didn't leave us, he didn't leave us waiting and wanting for more twice in a row. I can appreciate that because the 2-week break, as any of you who've been waiting and reading weekly would know, was grueling. So, cutting straight to what, well, was the main event. Luffy is Joy Boy. The fruit's name was revealed and I actually called it word for word. Mythical Zone Human Fruit Model Sun God Nika. I called this before, unfortunately I did not make a video on it. One of my friends said I might regret not doing so, but it turns out I would have been right, but that's the kind of thing which most people probably could have gathered. In all honesty, I won't take too much credit, I said it half as a joke. So, Luffy's a mythical zone. Turns out it's a mythical zone which turns you into rubber. Looks like until you awaken it, that's kind of a waste of a fruit. Like, if we're being completely honest, but that's not exactly by itself what I want to talk about. We've seen him in his new form. He seems to have been rejuvenated and he's jumping about. I loved the cartoon art style in his fight with Kaido. The way he'd whack him around and the eyes would jump right off of their faces and be left around and he'd twirl them. That was something I found incredibly Oda-like, and it's one of the things which I love about One Piece, and I'm so glad he was able to include. Things like that really keep me more captivated than I would have been in some lesser storyteller's hands. I don't even know what I'm saying. I just started recording. I didn't plan this out, no script, nothing, but I just want to say I loved the chapter. I loved seeing Luffy happy, regardless of how this may have come about. In my review, I'll go into the nitty-gritties of the detail, but what I do want to point out now, the scene with... should I talk about Yuri now? Yuri and what's his face. I liked the conviction she spoke with there and thought she would finish the job, but Kanjuro's Kazenbo's last ember being the one to burn Orochi, that's something which was pretty cool too. Him being haunted by the shadows of his own treacheries, schemes, something along those lines. Luffy busted out Gear 5th, which seems to take in a lot of aspects of other things. So we have the rubber world, which he displayed when he turned that slab of rock into rubber to bounce Kaido's attack back. That was everyone's first guess of what his awakening would be like, since it all revolved around rubber. Some people say, shouldn't he have a more zone-like awakening? But then if this is all how the sun god Nika worked, because he was well, the warrior of liberation, or how, whatever that was referring to, you know, the title of the chapter. Yeah, as the warrior of liberation, if everything about him was rubber and all that good stuff, it would make sense that he could just rip boundaries and shackles apart, turning them into flexible rubber which you could bounce off of. If there's something symbolic about that, I'll think about it after I've had a night to sleep and ruminate and all that English word stuff about it. But yeah, I like the choice for his awakening. I wasn't sure it was going to be called Gear 5th, but it is. Great to finally see a new form of that. I want to see just what exactly he can do. His form isn't too different from all of the previous ones, but with him looking all melty, I feel like we need to get more along the resin lines with this. Since we're taking it in the zone direction, I feel like we can get away with him having more than one primary effect for his awakening. Like we had with Doflamingo and Kachikori, them just changing things into their respective materials, you know, string and mochi. I feel like we can get away with him changing his body's shape more fluidly, and him having the rubber world abilities. Like those could both work. I hope the fight with Kaido isn't too one-sided now. Like after that brief encounter they had in the clash in this last chapter, Kaido didn't seem too beaten up by it. Of course, he has the composure of an emperor, so he wouldn't be crying and all that stuff. But, you know, just seeing him alright after that was a pretty good sign, something I enjoyed seeing. I wanted to make a preview for this chapter just so I'd get all of my guesses and predictions out before it went up, but I wasn't able to do that in time. Not too many regrets though. I'm probably going to make a bunch of videos on this, maybe like short ones which I'll just upload randomly to share my thoughts. But initial thoughts on the chapter, what I keep coming back to every couple minutes saying I'm going to talk about. Yeah, I like the artistic direction with making everything cartoony. I like that Luffy, I like the name of the fruit, what it got, and what it symbolizes. Oda could have gone even further in with this. Like, Luffy did get a notable power buff. He's been boosted like heavily after this, but it's not so ridiculous that he's immediately washing his opponent like when Naruto started going Nine Tails against Pain, or when Ichigo turned into a hollow against Ulquiorra. I like that the opponent's someone who's still capable of fighting back. You see, it's those tiny little details which don't completely take away from the effort Luffy's put in this far going into it. There were a bunch of things which happened in the chapter which I'm just not remembering. Zunisha spotted him as Joy Boy. Everyone, that seems to be circulating. Everyone has seen Luffy like yank Kaido out of the Onigashima Hall. Come to think of it, I'm not sure if I remember seeing the fire in this last chapter. Like the Kazenbo's gone, but the fire itself should still have been raging. I'll need to think about that in case I do make a review. I don't know what the point of this video is, it's really just me saying words. I needed to speak to someone. I mean, let me look at the time. It's like 10 minutes before 5 AM. I was only awake because I was playing D&D, which is another tangent I don't want to get into right now, so sorry I broke my usual recording rules and the crickets are probably irritating everyone as much as they irritate me all night, every night, but yeah, these are my initial thoughts. I don't think I'm going to edit this because I want to sleep. I'll just like slap a JPEG on top and call it a video, my bad. Well, you just listened to me ramble on for 10 minutes about pretty much nothing. You are welcome. Like the video if you liked the video, dislike the video if you disliked the video, and tell me why down below, for the criticism helps me grow. And without further ado, that's been Samyuk607 logging out.